You drop the notebook on the table, frustration rising in your chest. The answers are wrong again, not just one or two, almost all of them. Your pen rolls away, but you don't pick it up. You just stare at the page, feeling that familiar weight pressing down on you. You tried, you really did, and still this is the result. Maybe this just isn't for me. The thought comes quietly, but it stays, because this isn't the first time you've failed. It's happened before, different subject, different situation, same feeling. You start something with hope, then somewhere along the way, things fall apart. And each time, a part of you begins to believe something dangerous, that you're not capable. What if failure is not the end of your journey, but the beginning of your understanding? Right now, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like proof that you're not good enough. It feels like a sign to stop. It feels like something to avoid. But what if you're looking at it the wrong way? You remember the last time this happened, you quit. You told yourself it wasn't worth it. You moved on to something else. And for a while, it felt easier, no pressure, no stress. But deep inside, there was regret, because you never really knew if you could have improved. You just walked away before finding out. There's a quiet sound in the room, the fan spinning slowly above you, the faint rustle of paper, the ticking of time moving forward whether you act or not. And in that moment, you realize something. Avoiding failure didn't protect you, it just kept you stuck. Why does this keep happening to me? You ask yourself, not angrily, just tired, because you're not afraid of hard work. You're afraid of putting in effort and still failing. That fear is heavier than the work itself. Here is something most people never admit. Failure hurts more when you care. If you didn't care, it wouldn't affect you this much. If it didn't matter, you wouldn't feel this disappointed. So the pain you feel right now, it's not weakness. It's proof that this matters to you. You pick up the notebook again, slowly, reluctantly. Your eyes move over the mistakes. At first, all you see is failure, wrong answers, incorrect steps, missed details. But then you pause. What if instead of asking, why did I fail, you ask, what did I miss? That question changes everything. Before you were trying to avoid mistakes. Now you're starting to look at them closely, carefully, because every wrong answer is pointing to something, a gap, a misunderstanding, a step you skipped. It's not random, it's information, and information can be used. Imagine this: two people fail the same test. One closes the book and says, I'm not good at this. The other studies the mistakes and says, now I know what to fix. Same result, different response, different future. I don't understand this part, you whisper, looking at a question you got wrong. But this time, instead of stopping there, you stay. You read it again, you try to figure it out, you struggle, but you don't walk away immediately. And that is new. It's not easy. Your mind still tries to pull you back, still tells you it's pointless, still reminds you of past failures. But now you're not listening blindly, you're questioning those thoughts, and that gives you a little control. Before, failure felt like a wall. Now it's starting to look like a map. Each mistake shows you where to go next, what to improve, what to practice, what to understand better. And slowly, your perspective begins to shift. There was a time when you avoided looking at your mistakes. Now you're facing them, not perfectly, not confidently, but willingly. And that willingness is more powerful than talent, because talent doesn't grow without effort. But effort always leads somewhere. You try the same question again. This time you take it step by step. You think more carefully, you correct what you missed before, and when you finally reach the answer, it's right. For a moment, you just stare at it. Not because it's a big success, but because it means something. You improved. What if every failure is actually guiding you, not stopping you, but shaping you? It doesn't feel like that in the moment, but when you look closer, you start to see it. Every mistake is teaching you something you didn't know before, and that knowledge builds over time. You're still far from where you want to be, but you're no longer where you started. And that matters, because progress is not about perfection, it's about movement. Even small steps count. Even slow improvement matters. Right now you have a choice. You can see failure as a reason to stop, or you can see it as a reason to learn. One path keeps you stuck, the other moves you forward. And the difference is not your ability, it's your perspective. This is not the end of your story. This is where your learning truly begins, because the moment you stop fearing failure, you start using it. And once you learn how to use it, nothing can stop your growth. You sit down again, this time without hesitation. The same notebook. The same subject, the same goal, but a different approach. You don't rush. You don't try to get everything right at once. You move slowly, step by step, paying attention to what you're doing. And for the first time, the pressure feels lighter, because now you're not chasing perfection. You're chasing understanding. What if I make another mistake? The thought still appears, but now it doesn't scare you the same way, because you've seen something important. Mistakes are not attacks, they are feedback, and feedback, if you listen to it, makes you better. Have you noticed something strange? The more you run away from failure, the more it controls you, but the moment you face it, it starts losing its power. It's like a shadow, big from a distance, but smaller when you step closer, and that's exactly what you're doing now. You're stepping closer. Before, your focus was on results, marks, scores, outcomes. Now your focus is on the process, steps, methods, corrections, and this shift changes how you feel every day, because results are not always in your control, but effort is, learning is, improvement is. I think I understand this now. You say it quietly after solving a problem correctly. It's not a big celebration, but it's real, because this understanding didn't come from guessing. It came from trying, failing, and trying again, and that makes it stronger. There's something most people don't realize. Confidence doesn't come from always being right. It comes from knowing you can handle being wrong, that you can learn, that you can improve, that you won't break just because something didn't work. And once you feel that, everything changes. Before, you avoided challenges. Now you're starting to accept them, not because they're easy, but because you see their value. Each challenge is a chance to grow. Each mistake is a lesson in disguise. And slowly, your mindset shifts from fear to curiosity. You remember how you used to react. One mistake and you would stop. One failure and you would doubt everything. But now you pause, you think, you adjust, and then you try again. That simple change is building something powerful inside you. Why didn't I do this before? You wonder, but deep down you know the answer. You were afraid of failing again, afraid of feeling that disappointment. But now you've realized something. Avoiding that feeling cost you more than facing it ever could. Imagine if you keep going like this, learning from every mistake, improving step by step, staying consistent even when it feels slow. Where do you think you'll be in a few months? Not perfect, but better, stronger, more confident, and that future is built by what you're doing right now. The room feels different now, not because anything changed outside, but because you changed inside. The same desk no longer feels heavy. The same work no longer feels impossible, because your mindset has shifted. And mindset shapes experience. You don't celebrate perfection anymore, you celebrate progress, a small improvement, a better understanding, a corrected mistake. These things may seem small, but they add up, day by day, step by step, until one day you realize how far you've come. Keep going. You tell yourself, not loudly, not dramatically, just a quiet reminder. Because now you know that consistency matters more than intensity. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to keep moving. This is the part most people never reach, because they give up too early. They see failure as a stop sign. You're starting to see it as a guide. And that difference puts you ahead, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. Listen carefully. This is for you. Yes, you, if you're afraid of making mistakes, if you're tired of failing. If you feel like you're not improving, don't stop. Because what you're going through is not the end. It's the process. Failure is not your enemy. It's your teacher, a strict one, a tough one, but an honest one. It shows you exactly where you need to grow. And if you're willing to learn, it will guide you forward. So stop running from your mistakes. Start studying them. Stop judging yourself for failing. Start asking what you can learn. Stop expecting instant results. Start trusting the process, because in the end, the people who succeed are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who learn the most from their failures. And you're becoming one of them, step by step, lesson by lesson, growth by growth.